Good morning, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. Gene and Peter, I have started the recording, so we can go ahead and get started. Peter, you're currently driving the PowerPoint.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to our CA Workload Automation Tech Talk series. I'm Jean Rissmiller, Product Marketing for CA Workload Automation. Today, we're joined by Peter Vakula, who is a product owner for CA Workload Automation. Today, he's going to talk about continuous delivery with CA Workload Automation ESP Edition. You can get a copy of the slides for today's presentation on the CA Workload Automation User Community website shortly after this webcast. If you'd like to ask a question, we'll be answering those towards the end of this webcast. So please hold your questions until the end. Okay, Peter, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jean. This Tech Talk, as it was indicated, is about ESP and really the idea between continuous delivery. So I will again touch base what the continuous delivery really means for ESP, and then we will go rather quickly through all the enhancements delivered through the continuous delivery. As it was mentioned, my name is Peter Vakula. I'm the product owner for ESP. So any related questions to the development team and really how we drive the product with the dev team, really those are the questions I'm able to answer and write them. Okay, so now let's move to the slides. This is abstract. You probably already see one. I mentioned already we are going to look at the enhancement that has been delivered on ESP. So now let's look at the agenda. I'm going to share our workload automation mission statement with you. Then I'm going to give you some heads up about the ESP DocOps space, and then really I will touch base what the ESP continuation delivery means, and then we go through the enhancement list. If there will be any questions, I'm going to probably take them at the end of the enhancements list. All right, so the mission statement for workload automation really for us means to develop and provide best-in-class workload automation solutions through open innovation and collaboration with customers at every opportunity. What that really means is that, yeah, we want to provide you the best solution we can, and we can do it with your help because that's when we get your input, and then we can transform it in some outputs that you might like and you might find very useful. In regards to the documentation space, you're probably already familiar that many products, CA products now using the DocOps platform, which is essentially wiki-like platform to display documentation of products. And ESP isn't there yet, but we are very close to get published the documentation that is currently available on the bookshelf space. But it will take probably like two more weeks before we'll be there. So please stay tuned. The documentation is coming. The good news for us is that you will not miss your PTFs, because if you will need to travel and you would want to have the documentation stored into your mobile device, the subpages of the space can be easily downloaded to your PDF. Okay, now let's look at really the continuous delivery, because as you probably know, the ESP itself is right now in a version 11.4, and all the enhancements really what we are producing for ESP are delivered in form of PTFs. So these enhancements go together with the normal stream of supporting maintenance, and you can find it there probably between your regular maintenance update. What I want to leverage here is really if you want to participate on validations and participating on sprint reviews, please go to validate.ca.com and register for CA WLA ESP validation opportunity. That way you should get your invitation for our sprint reviews. Currently, I have to mention that we do not help regular sprint reviews, but this should change, because currently, the ESP team works on a so-called ESP self-service UI, and we want to take this into our regular ESP validations options. Where you can more collaborate is on the community side. It's not only of like asking questions or validating your comments and what you've noticed with the product, but you can also open ideas. That way you can get not only us but also the other community members to know what you think would be good for the next release, or what next feature you might look for. All right, so now I really do have a list of enhancements. So I will through some of them I will go rather quickly, and some of them I will try to give you some perspective why it was developed and how you can use it. So let's start really from the top. So the first PTF that was published for 11.4 was dealing with increasing distribution list users and distribution list roles for a PeopleSoft job. So these are two parameters you can use in that PeopleSoft job to really say the PeopleSoft job to notify some users or roles upon completion or upon some actions. So this was extended from 128 characters to more than 4,000 characters. So if you are using PeopleSoft job, this is something you might leverage in your environment. Then the other enhancement is tandem agent enhancements. There were like 3 new optional statements delivered together with the new commands that gives you the ability of retrieve spool file, view log, view output, view error, and cancel the job itself. Those two parameters, those 3 parameters are closely tied to the file system of tandem job. I will not go even deeper, but as I said, those are optional and tied really with the disks and file system itself. The third enhancement on this space is really simple. It added a couple new fields into job map report. The one is for all job. It regards due out time, and if you specify this parameter in your job map, the late sub value will be shown as well. Then there are a couple new values related to sub jobs. So if you are using sub jobs, you can leverage these values for your job map report. The next enhancement is dealing with repairing resource file, and this one is quite useful one, because prior to this enhancement there was no way how to repair your resource file. So if there was some damage to that file, the only possibility how to kind of get your ESP up and running was to start ESP with rest form parameter, which would eventually cause that your whole resource file is formatted from scratch, and then you would have to add your structures there again. This would be more painful for shops where are dynamic resources used, because if you are using dynamic resources, for example, you define one resource for a job based on some timestamp and use it in another, then you don't have really a good way how to restore those resources in case of a filer of that file. This enhancement provides a way how ESP can automatically detect this problem and tries to fix it by removing the corrupted parts and really keep the content that is just okay. Of course, there are some informational messages connected with it that will be printed out to let you know that there has been some problems. The next enhancement is kind of internal enhancement, and you should not see it you really should not mention that enhancements unless you are using really huge scoreboard data, because this enhancement added binary trees functions. In particular, we do have an AVL3 manipulation functions that are working on the scoreboard data. So for the job scoreboard and application data, we are using AVL3 manipulation. Essentially, this method should make sure that this binary tree that is used for the structure is always balanced. So your really the right side and left side of the tree are balanced. So you do not have the search and update degradation when you are looking only on the one side that can be usually longer. So you will see that mainly if you do have very huge scoreboard. Next couple enhancements are about new job types. So ESP now can run MS SQL job types. Essentially, anything you would have on your MS SQL server, you can schedule and run using ESP. I do have one note for the MS SQL job type, because this job type hasn't been implemented into Workstation yet, but currently we're working on it, and the support should be added in the new build of Workstation. Informatica job type, this one is again new job type that has been added upon 11.4, and you can now run Informatica flow. So essentially everything from Informatica dealing with data warehouses, data manipulation. So everything what they have in their flows you can run through the Informatica job type. The next enhancement deals with CyberCUT3 utility, which is usually used to extend your REPL file. So if you will start having problems with your REPL files in a way that you are lacking some space, this utility can be used to extend the space. And we moreover enhance this utility, so now it can be run even if the ESP is up and running. You do not need to have the ESP twice when performing this operation. And also the utility now makes sure that the APL file is formatted when you create a new APL file. This was sometimes very painful when you kind of forgot to format the APL files. It could cause some problems along the way. And also the new capability added with this enhancement is that you can create a new APL files in place. In fact, so you would be extending the APL file for a running ESP with the files in use. So this is also nice. Propagating resource counters. This is where you do have two masters of ESP masters, and you want to make sure that resources, enterprise resources, are kind of in sync. So one master can inform the other one of a change of an enterprise resource, and that way you can keep those resources in sync, and you can even do really job dependencies between two masters based on these resource counter propagations. Next job type added into ESP is micro focus job type. Really, I'm not sure if you're using it, but using micro focus job type, you can run your JCL and COBOL programs on a Windows or Unix environment. Let me move to the next slide. Dynamic agent configuration. This is again very good enhancements that was added to ESP. So now, if you want to add a new agent, you do not need to refresh your agent definition and then reload it into ESP. You can now just type the command agent with the agent name and then definition keyword, and this will make sure that the new agent is added. Of course, you need to provide the additional parameters where the agent sits, etc. You can do this via page mode, via CLI in Workstation, or in the ESP LMI option. that way, even maybe distributed folks are able to add this if they do have the proper authorization. The next enhancement really can be even also used with this dynamic agent configuration, because now the workstation server supports HTTP post web service, and through this HTTP post web service you can send any command to ESP, and it will be executed. So for example, through this HTTP post web service you can send a new agent definition command that will make sure that a new agent is defined into ESP, and essentially then really what you need to do is to define new work with that agent, and you can run your workload at no time. Another great enhancement delivered on ESP is automatic setting of hold and dormancy intervals. I'm not sure if you had the pleasure of defining min hold, min dorm, and max dorm parameters, but it is kind of a manual process when you need to really specify the minimum hold time when masters and proxy systems are holding queue file. Min dorm on the other hand was what was the minimum time of not holding, not asking for queue file, and max dorm, maybe I switched that. But anyway, setting these three parameters were fairly complicated, and you would have to do some math around it and make sure that you know your system very well. Now with this enhancement, the min hold, min dorm, and max dorm parameters are calculated by ESP, and you really don't need to now care about it, because ESP does that really automatically on the fly. So if you add another proxy, you do not need to care about it. It will be computed automatically. Next enhancement added AES support 256 to communicate with agents. Pretty straightforward. The only change was that if you want to use this key of this size, you would have to define it first through crypt key command. Event name in the next enhancement was added into history report, so you can now find the event name there. The selection capabilities for rerun multiple in the next enhancement is really adding the selection capabilities of if you can look at the simple example here. So I'll be running my rerun multiple command on my application, my app in generation 3, and then I will say that I'm going to select job A and all its successors. And then I'm going to deselect job C and all its successors. You see the minus sign between the job C will cause the deselection of job C and the underneath flow of that job. And moreover, I provided a simulate parameter, so I will get only the simulation. Next enhancement gives you the ability to simulate and trigger only sub-applications. So if you are using sub-applications in your application definitions, you can very conveniently use this new feature and really trigger only the one part of that application. The simulation or the triggering will do the trick for you. USS file trigger enhancements. That one gives you the ability to natively watch for Unix system services file changes. So essentially, the Unix that runs under the OS, you can now watch the file system under ESP natively. There are some restrictions, and also you need to have SMF92 enabled, but and this one also gives you the capability not only to watch for changes of those files, but also if that file gets renamed. The last enhancement on this page, display jobs with hold attribute in simulation. It really gives you another section in simulation output that displays all the jobs that have been selected but are selected with a hold attribute, so they will not run immediately. You would have to do some manual action, or you would have to code some action that will release that job. Next page lists a couple more enhancements. The first one, ESP as a host command environment in Rex, really gives you the ability to call any ESP command from Rex through the address ESP command. Then as the first parameter, you need to provide the ESP parameters that are usually passed to the ESP command, and then distinguished with semicolons, you can provide all the commands you want to execute from Rex. This enhancement was primarily intended for the Ops MVS integration, but you can also use it from your Rexes and call ESP directly from Rex. Again, new job map fields were added in the next enhancement that deals with agent type and agent description. Also, small enhancements like extending existing messages. In this example, we've added into message 507 information about who issued really the message, or from where the message came from. So now you should be able to pinpoint the IP of the problematic agent. Adding application description field. As you are aware, then ESP can use only 8 characters to name an application, and if you want to provide more descriptive name, the only way how to do it right now is through description parameter on the application statement. This is also fully supported in Workstation. So if you go to Workstation, you will see it in the workload director displayed in the brackets. There has been also additional enhancements for Informatica jobs. So now you should be able to retrieve, or with the particular enhancement in place, you should be able to retrieve spool file, and you can also restart Informatica workflows from certain tasks you would select. Enabling browsing of inserting job definitions. What this really means that if you are inserting jobs into active applications, prior this fix, you were not able to browse them, and moreover, we are also providing capability of editing those statements in case you would want to restart that job that was inserted, and that is provided in the second next enhancement that is bold. Next enhancement is about displaying user 1 through 4 variables in LAP commands and list schedules. So if you are using user 1 variables and you want to display them, you can use these 2 commands to really get the information about what user variables, user 1 through 4 variables were used to trigger that event. We also changed occurrence of one message, 6106, which should usually inform you about some problematic situation that an event was unsuccessfully cycled, and this message was sometimes unintendedly displayed also for cases where you do not have next occurrence, and that is in where you do not in situations where you do not have the schedule statement. So this particular condition was removed, and you should not see that message so often because it was really not informative at all. Then the last enhancement on this page the scope and scheduled parameters that are used for external jobs now can be listed using AJList command. So you should be able to get this information through the AJ command. We are integrating with the ops MVS through the call-ops command. This call-ops command further extends our prior command send to ops. So if you now want to send something from ESP, the recommended way is to use call-ops command. It gives you more capabilities. For example, name the rule, and then in the message really have variables. As you can see in this example, the message that is sent to MVS contains some variables that will be resolved before this message is sent to ops MVS. And the rule with alert will add suffix to ops MVS alerts, and you can change that suffix to suit your needs. Audit log, new audit log parameter to set output destination. If you are using audit log initialization parameters, then you can use destination parameter to say what output class to use. The next one really adds capabilities of displaying the right data sets that was used for submitting the job. This is important in case where you are using concat command, concatenate JCL libs and temp libs. With this enhancement, you will see the particular library that was used in the JCL output of the submitted JCL. Those are the commands that are added by ESP. Preventing sharing of RSV logic by multiple masters. This one is very interesting enhancements, because previously, before this enhancement, if you had two ESP families running on the same sysplex, and if they were using the same RSV logic for the NQ and RQ parameters, then you could observe some performance degradation, because both of these systems will be kind of competing for the RName and QName specified in the parameters. However, this logic is only used to make sure that the master and proxies are not overriding each permissions to the file. So situation at the end would be like that. Those two ESP families are competing for completely different set of files. So it could cause some performance degradation. With this enhancement, ESP will detect this RSV contency and will report it upon start of ESP. Couple other enhancements dealing with traffic notifications. This could cause a checkpoint to be filled up. This now makes sure that these notifications are dealt in a different way. Another enhancement for NSK job types adds more information to the listing of the job, and particularly this is child bit of that tandem job type. We do have couple enhancements which are dealing with simulation. The first one here is verify resources. So now in simulation, the resources that are used are really verified, that are defined. If they are not found, then an informational message is issued. This is again the third from bottom is again a new enhancement for very recently added job type, microfocus. Now you should be able to see the values of JCL content and JCL reference for your microfocus job type using list Apple and Apple job commands. Fairly recently, we also added document literal job type. It's not an kind of new type, but for sake of consistency, we added it. So if you are using the web services document literal job type, you can now use ESP to run them. Show messages in body of screen of simulating page mode. Pop-up messages are now displayed within the body of simulation of output. This is really that internally we are issuing the infamous set command. All right. This is again the simulation enhancement I was talking about. This one particle does checking on notifies and alerts. So if the event isn't found or the alert isn't found, an informational message is issued. CA View integration, if you do use CA View to archive and maintain your mainframe jobs outputs, then you can now leverage this from CSF using LVO or LVE commands. This is, however, not implemented in Workstation yet. This is in our backlog and will be probably the next thing after implementation of the MS SQL job type in Workstation. Couple more enhancements to FTP-related jobs for the FTP job, secure copy job, and SFTP job. New parameters were added. They are usually concerned with security, so you can now specify OS user dealing with the operating system user, key file dealing with security, and transfer code type for making sure that you are using either it's ASCII or binary transfer code type. The next one, the add agent and agent user authorization checking to simulation falls into the simulation enhancements. Now ESP also checks whether you do have the authorization to use the agent. This is, however, a little bit problematic because usually the user who is creating the application and doing the simulation doesn't have the permission to the agent. So just yesterday we added a new fix for this enhancements where we are kind of lowering the severity of the message and making sure that the simulation itself will continue. Assignments display in simulation. This one is really a cosmetic enhancements because if you will look at the if then else C-lang statements, the false block isn't shown. However, assignments were shown. So, for example, A equals B will be shown there and resolved. However, this was kind of confusing, so we removed the assignments from the false block for good. Edit browse doclib, edit doclib CSF commands. We extended them, so these commands now are able to browse doclibs also that have been concatenated using concat command. LabX command had previously a limitation for displaying predecessor, successors, blocking jobs, and jobs on critical path. That limitation was, I believe, 100, and we removed it. Now there is still some limitation, but it's like very, very huge, and it's dependent to ESP buffers used internally. Also, we changed some errors in reporting jobs dependency loops in using LabX command, and now if you do have very huge cross application dependency, now we are going to show only the starting point of that loop. We will not report for each of the job on that loop, because that loop could have been very huge, and that would really flood your audit log. Keep track of priority changes into messages 6155 and 6062. We've added also information from what priority the change took place. access pass ticket for workstation login, maybe you are aware that workstation server is using two channels, one for sending updates and one for executing commands. And both these channels need to be validated with username and password. So now the logic was changed, and only the password is used only one time, and the pass ticket is then used also for the other channel. That way, if you are leveraging one-time passwords, this is something what you should have installed for your workstation. That way, the one-time password will make sure that it will go through. All right, a couple more and we're done. Hadoop job types have been added to ESP fairly recently, so now using ESP you can run big data jobs. Those are HDFS, UZI, Scoop, and Hive job types. The next enhancement, we've added cancel command to tandem job because this one wasn't previously supported, and for the sake of consistency, this was also added for Unix and Windows job types from the CSF because the CSF was missing this functionality. Then the third enhancement here is event suspended held by user, and this information is now inserted into the event if you are browsing it. So now you should immediately see who was the last person who suspended or held that event. Automatic setting of origin jest node for sendnet origin mode. Essentially, if you are using this jest node for netdesk command, then and you are moving the master or proxy within your Plex and within your jest node. This will make sure that this information isn't lost, the tracking information isn't lost. To the external increasing the length of a non-Bob external job name. Essentially, if you are using the job Bob, which is meant for mainframe jobs, and you will be referring to it as an external, there was still limitation to 8 characters. So if you would want to create a job external to a empty job, you would be limited to 8 characters. There was a workaround. You could still use the empty external to do this capability, but for the sake of consistency, the external was external for the mainframe job was also extended to have the maximum length of 64 characters. The last enhancement on the list is again extending existing message, and we into message 1883 we added what resource was this message dealing with, because if you try to set or define a resource to which you do not have privileges, then you would be informed about that, but it will not tell you what resource you try to modify. So this will give you the information. All right, I will pause here and see if there are any questions. I'm sure that there will be at least any, but in this particular format, we really wanted to give you the overview of all the features. And so if you do have any questions, please ask them.
Yeah, Peter, thanks for that. We do have one question that came in. And before we go through that, I just want to remind everyone that we'll take questions through that Q&A panel that's up on your screen. So if you just want to type your question in there, we'll answer it. There is one in there about the dynamic agent configuration and where that's being implemented.
Yeah, to my knowledge, this has not been leveraged in the agent orchestration yet, but I do believe they will get it there eventually, because I'm sure think, if I'm not mistaken, they are clearing their backlog and making sure that they do have really the right use cases. So if you are really interested in this one to be implemented in the agent orchestration, then I would really recommend to go to the workload automation space and paste the idea there, just to make sure that we are that is voiced there. But I can definitely go back to the team and make sure that they are aware of this feature, because I'm not sure if they are.
Great, thanks for that. Let's see. I don't see any other questions at the moment. Maybe while we're waiting for the questions, we can just have a little quick advertisement for CA World. CA World is in November this year. Registration is open for CA World, and we're offering more than a dozen sessions at CA World specifically on ESP. The session catalog is currently published on the CA World website, which is shown at the top of this screen. The pre-conference education sessions are the ones that are out there right now, and there are about 6 pre-conference education sessions, and then the regular conference sessions, which come after pre-con, there's about 7 or 8 of those specific to ESP as well. Those will be published next week. So the full session catalog should be available on the CA World website as of the week of August 15th. So we listened to the customers last year, and they wanted more technical sessions. So we're giving it to you. There are 60% more technical sessions at CA World this year because we decided to run a technical conference at CA World. So we sure hope to see you at the conference. I do see another question that's come in. Nope, I guess not. Okay, so
no, that was just a comment.
We'll pause just a few more minutes here and see if there are any other questions. Again, the presentation for today will be posted on the Workload Automation user community right after this session, so you can go download that later on. Okay, Peter, I think you stunned them with all those enhancements.
Yeah, it is a huge list. As I said, it's 55 new enhancements for the ESP, and this is really just to give you the overview. So you do have really a reference with a quick overview. If you want to just maybe replay it, and you would have further questions, please do not hesitate. Just drop me an email. We can discuss. We can set up any follow-up sections if there will be needed. So thank you very much that you took your time in your busy days and you listen to those. Really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.